Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we are looking at the Kuat Transfer V2 2-bike rack here on our 2018 Buick Encore. So the Kuat Transfer is awesome in that it has a unique goalpost design, or that U-frame, which means that it's easier to mount and dismount your bikes. Also, it does create a bit more clearance on the inside in order to keep the back of your vehicle visible. So we're going to talk about how our bike is mounted to this bike rack, as well as some of its different features. The first feature is that it tilts away. So to do so, I like to put that arm to the side, that way I can step right into this U-frame. Then I can step on this lever, and that allows the bike rack to fold down, which means I can then try to access my hatch. So as you can see, that tilt is just enough to create a clearance between our door and our handlebars, allowing us to get in there, maybe grab our bags, our water, our helmets, all without having to take our bike off. And since I do have kind of longer handlebars for my bike here, that could be an option for you. If you have longer than these, then that might be something you're gonna have to consider. On the bright side though, if you do need to take your bike off, it's very quick and easy to do so. Let's take a look at that process. So first, you would go buy these wheel straps. So there's one wheel strap per bike. You press the lever and pull that strap out. Then you leave it to the side so it's not tangled up in your spokes when you take your bike off. Then you come over here to the front. When you do so, please hold on to your bike, since the instant you release it, it may tilt towards your vehicle. So hold your bike and press this button, lift up on that front wheel hook, push that to the side, and from there you can just lift your bike up and off, and you're ready to go on a bike ride. And with this bike out of the way, let's take a closer look here at our cradles and our straps. So we have this rear wheel cradle right here that has this wheel strap. So the cradle itself has grooves to accommodate different tire widths. The maximum it can accommodate is up to 5 inches. You can also rotate this back and forth for different wheelbases. The maximum wheelbase is 50 inches. Then this ratcheting strap comes around and tightens down to secure that wheel. Note, if you have any tires that are wider than 3 inches, you're gonna have to get a longer strap adapter. And then over here in the front, we have our front wheel cradle. This can also be slightly adjusted up and down. And then you have this front wheel clamp. So the clamp is cool because then you can carry bikes of different shapes and different sizes very easily. So if you have a carbon frame bike, the traditional bike rack has a hook that comes down and holds onto that frame, possibly warping or cracking it. With this, since it holds onto your front wheel, you don't have to worry about that. Also, if you have alternate frame bikes like women's bikes, children's bikes, step-through bikes, having this clamp down on the front wheel means you don't have to get a separate frame adapter bar. So this just goes over to the side and just tightens down right there to make it a bit more compact. So we'll put both of these over here. There you go, just like that. Okay, so when you have a bike rack behind your vehicle, there's definitely going to be some length added to the back of your vehicle. So we'll see exactly how much. Measuring from our rear bumper on our Encore to the end of the bike rack, it sits at 34 inches. Now that's actually really long for a 2-bike rack here with this kind of car. So please remember that when you are backing into your garage, or when you're trying to park into a really tight spot, that you have that length added to your vehicle. So it's a good thing this is already a small and compact SUV, because you are gonna need that extra length to work with. Let's also talk about ground clearance. Underneath the goalpost, we have a ground clearance of 16 inches. And here underneath the shank, we have a ground clearance of 9 3/4 inches. So with this hitch, we do have limited ground clearance So it's a really good thing it has that shank rise, because as you're going up steep inclines like driveways or hills, you want as much of a rise as you can get, so that when you do have that front going up and that back going down, you don't have your bikes hitting the ground. All right, another of its features is that it can fold up. To do so, just press that lever right there and then fold this bike rack up into the portable position. We'll take some measurements. Measuring from our bumper to the back of the goalpost, it's 9 1/4 inches. Now it does stick out a little bit further here by this foot lever, so that's going to be 12 inches out behind your car. Closest point is going to be about 3 inches, so that means you have 3 inches of clearance between your bike rack and your vehicle. This is a big difference compared to when it was folded down. You definitely want it in this position when, let's say, you're not planning on taking your bikes out for a ride, but you also don't want to take your bike rack off. This makes it nice, portable, and easy to use. Also notice with it folded up like this, our rear window is clear, our tail lights are completely visible, our license plate is also mainly visible, as is our backup camera. This does stick up a little bit higher than our other two bike racks, but then the upside to that is with the goalpost design, you still have this clear. Okay, let's talk about how this fits into our hitch. So this version of the Kuat Transfer has an 1 1/4 shank. So because of that 1 1/4 shank design, it has a weight capacity of 40 pounds per bike, but you can also adapt it so it turns into a single bike rack. This comes with a hitch pin and a clip. It does not come with a lock because it uses a security wrench in order to tighten it down. That's maybe my one downside with this style of a bike rack. I prefer the knob that you can find on the Kuat Sherpa or the Kuat NV. But with that wrench, it pushes out a ball cam, creating an anti-rattle effect, so that as I shake it, I'm mainly shaking the vehicle, showing that as it goes over bumps, as it goes over holes and creates that rattle on the road, that connection is tight and you're not getting extra vibration from an improper connection, making for a smoother ride for your bikes. Now it does come with a cable lock valve that goes around your bikes and secures right there, so you can pick up a hitch lock if you want to and try to get that key to like with a cable lock if you get them as a set. So my final thoughts about the Kuat Transfer is I do really like that goalpost design because it makes it easier to step into our bike rack to put up our bikes. Now, if you do have extra heavy electric bikes, this may not be the best option with its 40-pound weight capacity. You might want to check out either the Swagman Current or the Kuat NV with an 1 1/4 shank. But if you just have your normal bikes and 40 pounds is enough for you and you really like that goalpost design, this is still an awesome bike rack. So that was a look at the Kuat Transfer V2 bike rack here on our 2018 Buick Encore.